So we've now moved around the chipping green a little bit to have a look at the red flag here. Now this is a similar distance to the shot we took a second ago that was flying over the bunker to the blue flag, so the distance is about the same. But what's in front of me has changed completely, and now have a much longer patch of green to work with and nothing in the way to fly over. So the club selection and the shot type has changed massively. Now one of the things that I see a lot of people do is they don't change the type of shot they're playing, they work more on the distance. Well, if I'm the same distance away, I can use the same club. But I'd like you to think about what's in front of you. Now the best way that you could imagine this on the golf course would be, imagine that you had a golf ball in your hand and you were going to try and throw it to that flag. Now from the previous shot with the bunker in the way, you would have always thrown it nice and high up in the air and over the bunker. In this situation, I don't know whether you would see the shot the same, or whether you would take the golf ball and then roll it in a little bit lower, using the fact that you've got a large amount of green in front of you with nothing to actually go over. Now certainly I would be able to pick the ball up, land it just on the front edge of the green and run it up to the green from there. So if there's nothing in the way on the golf course, then why go in the air? You don't have to fly over anything. So if it's nice, flat, smooth grass, I would really encourage you to go ahead and do that. I'm going to demonstrate to you now why I think that's important to do it. So my preferred club choice for this shot would actually be an 8 iron. I'll demonstrate why now. I think a good chipping or pitching action with an 8 iron is going to land the ball just around the front portion of the green and let it release up. However, we know as golfers that we don't always strike the ball perfectly well, and the most common bad shot is going to be a thin shot. Now a thinned 8 iron will go somewhere similar to how a normal 8 iron will go, because the heights of the shots won't be too dissimilar. A good 8 iron goes low and rolls, and a bad 8 iron goes low and rolls. So here we go, setting up for around about a 40-yard little pitch shot with an 8 iron. So it's quite a low flight there that lands towards the front edge of the green and then runs away up the hill to around about 10 or 12 feet just short of the flag. Now if I take a similar stroke now, but actually contact the ball badly, aiming deliberately to thin the golf ball, which we might do accidentally, and hopefully we'll see a result that was still playable. So that one was actually a little bit of a thin. It shot out a little bit low on me, but lo and behold, it rolls to a very similar position as the good shot does as well. Now if I change that around a little bit and maybe taking a lob wedge this time, it's the sort of club that we might be using if there was a bunker in the way, would be the lob wedge. And I see a lot of people using a lob wedge from this distance off the green, even when there's nothing in the way. So here we go with the lob wedge. Now to take the good shot, I'm going to have to make a bigger swing, a much fuller action, because I need to use a lot more power to get the ball to go in the air. It's wasting a lot of energy going upwards with this shot, so we need a much fuller swing. So if I play a good lob wedge to that flag, much fuller swing, flies the ball as high as it can into the air, and again it comes down similar to the first shot, 10-12 feet short of the flag. Now we'll look at how that happens if we take a bad lob wedge shot. So we take the setup again, trying to make the same swing, but this time deliberately making a bad contact. So there you can see what happens with the lob wedge, with a similar swing to the good lob wedge, but this time hitting the golf ball around about halfway up, and it's a very poor shot and it shoots off through the green. So we know that when there's nothing to go over, it's much safer for your good but also for your bad shots if you take a less lofted golf club. So from this position off the side of the green, a 7 or an 8 iron is always going to be much safer than your sand wedge or your lob wedge. If there's nothing to go over, keep it low to the ground and running in.